Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. I think it's about time we take an early look at Rage of the Abyss. We have the cover art and support revealed to be Sharks. We got that revealed like over a week ago. I think Sharks are in a really solid position now going forward, but I think we can always look at a new core set when it's about to come out, and we can go ahead and look at some of the past sets and past information we have to kind of get a good estimation of a lot of things that could be coming in this core set. So that's what we're going to be going through today, is the stuff I think is going to be coming here. I have two different categories. It's basically the stuff I expect to come in this set and the stuff that I think is more of a maybe, like it's not guaranteed, but I wouldn't think it to be crazy if it came in here. And we're like 2 months out from this set dropping in the OCG, which means they're probably about to start getting into like the real reveals, right? The first reveal is a thing, and then they give it a week or two to breathe, and then they kind of get into those like more systematic regular reveals, and I think we're right on the precipice of that, so this is the best time to go ahead and make a video like this. So first things first, I might as well get this out of the way because I didn't make a slide for it, but TCG exclusive archetype, we'll just knock this out of the way. It's important to note that Infinite Forbidden will get the next TCG exclusive archetype revealed when that comes out in the TCG in about 2 months. And then from there, we will know what that archetype is. They'll get 7 cards in that archetype. And then this archetype, or this core set, should have 7 more cards of support, giving us that second wave to hopefully make that archetype playable. Konami's not been great to TCG exclusive archetypes, so I don't have super high hopes, or expectations at least. But I guess my hopes are high, but my expectations are low. That's kind of where I sit. And also one more thing to note, Konami's been giving follow-up support to cover art support, which they have never really done before, but the Yubel stuff got support, and the Legacy of Destruction stuff got support, so Sharks could easily get 1 or 2 more cards in the next core set after this one as well. Just something else to throw out there. Alright, but let's get into the ones specifically tailored to this set here. The first one is Millennium, or the new Exodia cards. Just like I noted like 5 seconds ago, Yubel got 3 new cards right after they got their first, cover support. Right after that, then Yugi's Shining Sarcophagus archetype got 3 new cards right after they came out. I expect there to be at least 2 cards in this core set also supporting the Exodia Millennium archetype. This engine's already been shown to see some play in the OCG. I think they can definitely do a little bit more here if they want. That's cool. I like it. I like that they've been doing this for sure. So yeah, I definitely expect 2 or 3 new cards there. Next up, we have White Woods. They had their first reveal last set, so they are super, super fresh. Usually Konami follows up with a small wave of support after that, so we could see 2 or 3 more cards. I think for this archetype, it's important to note that this archetype doesn't seem to have full legs on its own. Like, I don't really see anybody messing around with it as a pure variant. It's more of an engine in other decks. Is there a world where they try to expand that a little bit and try and make it a full-on playable archetype on its own, rather than just being an engine? I could see that being what they aim for with White Woods. Next up, Fiendsmith. Kind of in the same vein, but like a little more generic. This engine's taking over in the OCG right now in the competitive scene. Very, very scary. I don't even necessarily think that they will make more Fiendsmith cards in this core set, but I do think there's a good chance that they do something, right? Whether it's maybe there's a new archetype that has Light Fiends to it that come out in that next core set, just to kind of give Fiendsmith even more hype, right? And keep the train going on that. It could be new Fiendsmith cards. I think similar to White Woods, like this is not a playable archetype on its own. They just don't have enough playable main deck or extra deck cards really to be its own archetype. Is there a world where they get like a decently sized second wave where they really try to round it out into a playable, like full archetype on its own? Give them a normal summon. Give them like more interactions they can end on their own, rather than just being a simple engine that gets you your Wave High King Caesar or your Beatrice, right? I don't know, but I expect there to be something for Fiendsmiths. I think they want to keep the hype rolling on this archetype there. Next up, Diabell Star. There should be a new Diabell Star archetype here. I don't know what it's going to be. We got White Woods in the set prior. I don't know what we got, or if we got some in Legacy of Destruction. I should know that. But Goblin Bikers before that, and then Snake Eyes before that, right? We've been getting basically a new archetype every single core set. And I think they've been doing a really good job at making them feel super different, unique in their own way, and also decent. Like they're all like Goblin Biker's the worst one, and that's a playable rogue archetype. It has regional tops, so I think they've been doing a good job. I hope just the new archetype keeps that up. Different, unique, still decent and playable. That's what I hope for. All right, I also expect more Sinful Spoils cards. It could be in the form of kind of like this. This is kind of like a Whitewood support card. Not that it fully connects you to the engine, but it's clearly tailored to help out the Whitewood stuff. We're going to see some Sinful Spoils card, right? If we get a new archetype for the Diabell Star lore, do we also get a new version of this for that archetype that kind of connects the two somewhat? That's kind of what I expect more than anything there. Nothing crazy, though. And then illusions. I think illusions are super interesting to mention here. We've been getting like tricklings of illusion stuff every set. It feels like we got Nightmare Apprentice, really really good generic card. It doesn't have all the applications in the world just yet. Basically just Chimera still right now. But the more we expand the illusion archetype, stuff like that, stuff like your Top Hat hair becomes significantly more interesting just because of special synergies. Or honestly, this is kind of a two-pronged one. I do expect some illusion support somehow. I'd love an actual full archetype that actually allows like Nightmare Apprentice to see some extra play, this guy to have really good synergy, stuff like that. But maybe what if this guy is the beginning of like a mini archetype and they do give more trap monster support here? That would be really really cool to see if they go in that route, because I know a lot of people like the idea of trap monsters. But yeah, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I do expect them to do something with this, even if it's just more illusions or more trap monsters. I think it'd be cool either way. Yeah, and I think that takes us out of the stuff that I think is like super likely. That like I would be surprised if they're not in this next core set, which moves us to a bunch of the maybes. So we start off with Tenpai Dragon. Basically here, we got the first wave of Tenpai Dragon in Legacy of Destruction. There's already a second wave for Infinite Forbidden, and we don't have anything revealed yet. I still think there's a decent chance, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got Tenpai Dragon, but I also, more Tenpai Dragon cards, but I also wouldn't be shocked if it's not in there, right? This is already a Tier 1 archetype in the TCG, basically, and they still haven't even gotten the next wave yet, and they're performing very well in the OCG with that second said wave. So we'll keep an eye on that, on whether or not they make it. Next up is Ragnarika, same realm, basically. They both got revealed in the same set. They both got cards in the next set, and now we wonder and we more so hope Ragnarika gets more cards, because they have a decent like core, a decent start, but they're not all the way there yet. So I think I really would like to see one more wave for them to give them one final push before Konami kind of lets them chill for a little bit. That would be really nice. One more wave, like that really helps them out, because they need it. The second wave was not amazing. There's some nice utility cards, but not like amazing solving the archetype type stuff. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Mulchummy. This is a funny one. When Mulchummy came out, the translation here is really weird, especially this final text at the bottom, where it says you can only activate the effects of other Mulchummy monsters once the turn you activate this effect. Basically, the way this is worded is just so weird that a lot of people think that this is alluding to the fact that we're going to get more Mulchummy monsters, and we could. This is a good generic hand trap. This card is going to be discount max C in the TCG. It's going to be side deck only, most likely, or hard go second decks only. But I still think this is on the table. This is worded so weird, and I agree with that why would they even word it this way if they weren't going to have other Mulchummy monsters? So we will have to see where they end up going with that. But it's definitely on the table for me. Voiceless Voice, this is one that I think is less likely. We got this Voiceless Voice came out the set before Tenpai Dragon. So came out, no support in the second set in Legacy of Destruction, support in the third set with just this poopy little trap card in Infinite Forbidden, but that's already your 3 sets of runway there. And the most recent one was like kind of like a filler card. It's not even a card that's going to see play competitively for the deck. I think they're kind of waning off this archetype. It's already a solid archetype competitively. They're maybe not trying to push it too much farther. I think they're going to chill on them, but it is possible to get one more card here. I wouldn't be shocked at that. Shining Sarcophagus 2. My one thing with Shining Sarcophagus is they gave Yubel the second wave, which they normally don't do for the core archetypes like we talked about, but it was awesome. It was so good for them. And then they gave us the second wave for the Shining Sarcophagus archetype. It was terrible. I don't think you're going to play any of those 3 cards in this deck if you play this deck. And that's really disappointing. So I'm hoping there's one more wave. It's a Yugi archetype, like maybe that's it. But like, come on, Konami, give this archetype a little more help. Yubel was better than this archetype, and you gave them three more awesome cards. This archetype was worse than Yubel, and you gave them basically unplayables. Come on, where's the balance there? Give them 2 more really nice cards. They deserve it. So this one's more of a hope than an expectation, because we haven't really seen them give support in like 3 straight core sets in a row. But I hope they do. I'm just wishing. Goblin Bikers. This is another hope, but I don't know, right? This is one of the Diabell Star lore archetypes. It came out. It got a very weak wave in the second wave, and then in Infinite Forbidden, no cards at all. So, are they done with Goblin Bikers for now? Are they going to give them the Springens treatment, making like the worst worst archetype of the lore, and then also let them just sit on the sideline for 2 years and then come back and give them decent cards, but it'll be too late. They'll be power crept, all that stuff. It seems pretty possible, pretty likely actually. But we'll see. I hope that's not the case. I hope they give them one more good wave before they, let them chill for a little bit. But we'll see. And the last thing I want to mention here is Deck Build Pack Wild Survivors. I think we are now hitting the timeline in this core set, beginning with this core set, where Konami could come back and give a wave of support for this deck build pack. Over the past couple of years, Konami's kind of been going on this trend where archetypes that come out and kind of chill, and especially ones that aren't like crazy, but they're just okay, they come back and give them like a really nice wave, like 1 to 2 years later, something in that timeline. And this is the first course. This is the first core set coming out within, a year of that timeline. So, or like almost in that 1.5 year marker, which is about what I look for. So Vanquish Soul, the Transcendrakes, the Dinosaurs, and the Nouvelle archetype, I think are all live to get support here. Do I think it's likely? Not necessarily, but I would say, like, if you're talking about the next year of core sets, the next 4 core sets, I would say that seems decently likely that they end up being in there at some point. I just don't know if this is going to be the one they do it for. But I still think it's worth noting, a lot of people really want Vanquish Soul to get that next wave. Their second wave of support was very lackluster, didn't really solve problems the deck had, really. But it's there. We'll see where we go from there, though. And then, obviously, these archetypes were never even good, so giving them an extra wave could actually be really nice for them. We'll see. But there you go. Those are my thoughts about everything there. I think we're in a decent spot. I think there's a lot of cool stuff on the potential horizon. There's obviously going to be other probably new archetypes, a legacy support, but for those archetypes, it's going to be too hard to guess. We may do another video talking about what we want to get in there, but obviously time will tell on those. But I'm out of here for today. That's everything I have for you. Let me know in the comment section down below. Is there anything you think I missed that maybe is has a decent chance that you think the way Konami structures things actually has a good chance of being in here? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below there. And what do you want? What are you excited for most out of the stuff we showed here? What are you most hyped for to see from the stuff that we're expecting to get in Rage of the Abyss, other than the Sharks? But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel for more discussion videos like this one down the line, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.